Tēnā koutou katoa, ko Angel mō sese tōku ingoa, he uri ahau no te raroa, no Ngāti Hāmoa hoki, kei te noho ahau I Aotearoa nei. My name is Angel mō sese, and I am a descendant from the tribe of Te Raroa and from Samoa. I live here in Auckland, New Zealand, and yeah. So I was actually born and raised in Australia, and I lived there for 19 years, and then I moved here to New Zealand. But I'm originally from New Zealand, just born and raised in Australia. For me, my culture is very important to me. My culture, my language, and my traditions are really important to me. So growing up in Australia, I had that a little bit in our home from my mum and my dad. But in terms of the rest of my life, every other aspect of my life, I didn't have that. And so for me that was really important, which is why I came home. I came back to New Zealand with the baby, and the reason for that was I wanted her to grow up with the language from birth, and knowing our traditions and our cultures and the reasons we practice what we practice. I wanted her to understand that, and to be surrounded by that within the community. And since moving back to New Zealand, she has learnt that from birth, and I'm really proud about that. For me, being tangata whenua, a native to this land, it's very important for me to uphold my culture and my language. The reason I came home with my daughter is because here in New Zealand we have schools and resources and supplies and all that sort of stuff to try and help to be strong in our beliefs and in our culture. So this is the only place in the world where you would find a school that actually is full immersion in the Te Reo Maori language. And my daughter attends one of those schools. She now speaks Maori fluently, and I think there's like 240 kindergarten schools here that teach the language, and that gives us the chance to send our children there so that they'd learn it. The parents may not be able to speak the language, but their children are learning from the school, which brings that home. The children bring it home, and then it kind of helps the family to learn. And I think that's really important for us to keep the language alive, because it is dying out. There's very few, I think less than half of the Maori population can speak the Maori language, which is really sad, because our ancestors were very strong in what they, trying to hand it down, the generations, but just over the years it hasn't happened. So now we're just trying to revitalize and bring it back, and so far so good.